Hey, I'm Constance, and I'm sitting here with Kara Williamson. And Kara is a recording artist, and one of her latest records was called Undisguised, and I have that record. And I wanted to introduce you guys to Kara because I think that her music touches on a lot of the issues that you may be wrestling with. And in particular, there's a song on Undisguised called Dear Performer.
Yes.
And I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, awesome, I can't believe someone has captured this whole performance thing in a song. Can you tell us a little bit about the song and then what kind of brought you to write it?
Yeah, well, Dear Performer is a song that's about basically what it says. I'm talking to the performer side of myself, and I'm basically telling it that it's not going to control me anymore. That for my whole life, you know, I've just sort of been all about pleasing people and pleasing man, and it's just been one big performance for as long as I can remember, really. And it's like I'm finally sort of talking to that part of myself and saying, you're not going to control me anymore.
Right, which is what was so powerful, because we find, like, even, you know, Jenny Shaffer, who we've interviewed for the site, she refers to her eating disorder as Ed. You know, somehow by putting a name to it and saying, dear performer, I'm naming what you are, this part of me, I'm speaking to you. And did that make it easier kind of to say,
yeah,
I know what I'm fighting here?
Yes, it absolutely did. And I mean, even just the process of writing that song was such a healing process for me. I think confession is, I think, the first and most important part of getting free from any addiction. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to first confess. And so to just lay it all out there, you know, was very helpful.
Now I'm going to ask you a really obvious question. You are a performer. I mean, that's what you do. You get onto a stage, you record albums, you get up in front of people. And I know from the public stuff I do, which isn't quite as artistic, there's a certain level of performance that has to occur. So how do you sort of reconcile those alter egos, you know, the performer on stage, but not wanting to meet the performer inside of you? It sounds like it could get very complicated. What do you do?
I'm still trying to figure that out. That's an ongoing struggle for me, because it's like you get on stage and there's like this thrill of, you know, being in front of people, and there's that flesh side of me and that comfortable thing that I've always had of loving to perform, and loving, you know, just the acceptance that you get from that. But and I still love that. I mean, it's like, okay, but I feel like I have to just on a regular basis surrender that, I guess, every time, every concert, I mean, even for this, you know, it's like I have to just, you know, be really prayed up and just constantly be realizing that God is the one that this is for. It's not for me. I'm not the performer. Everything is to worship and to glorify Him. And I mean, it's still a struggle. I mean, I'm not going to lie.
It is for me too. I mean, it really is like an alter ego. What someone told me recently is just you have to come up with non-negotiables about yourself that are true, whether you're on stage, in front of a camera, or at home with the children. You know, and I know you've just had a baby.
Oh, yes.
So can you tell me a little bit how this performer thing, why did this matter? I mean, how did that then play out in your life, that need to please everyone? I know you talk publicly about having struggled with disordered eating. Tell us a little bit of that struggle and kind of what that meant in your life.
Well, I first started dealing with that when I was about a sophomore in high school, and it was just pressure and just so much pressure coming from everywhere. I was the daughter of a pastor, and my parents didn't really put a whole lot of pressure on me. You know, they were always very, what's the word? They weren't the ones that were putting the pressure on me. It was like other pastors at the church and other kids at the church that would just sort of expect things. And I remember, maybe, I don't know if I should say this or not, but when I was 20, I got a tattoo. And it was like the biggest no-no ever. And because everybody was like, not Kara, you know, not Dave's daughter. And but really, like, the tattoo that I got, it was a butterfly. And for me, it was so huge because I was marking a time in my life where God was setting me free. And it was kind of, you know, that was the age that I was when I first confessed my eating disorder to my mom, first of all. And so I went and I got a tattoo of a butterfly. And, you know, if your parents don't want you to get a tattoo, probably don't do it. But
I think if you have tattoos, though, it really means you're going to hell.
Oh, okay. Well,
we need to end this interview.
Okay, so bye-bye. But, okay, you're like, stop talking about your tattoo, okay?
No, I love the tattoo. I love it.
But for me, it's like, it's a symbol of like God setting me free. And, but I just remember like it was this huge deal, and, you know, so that's the kind of pressure I was dealing with. And so in order to sort of control my situation and control what was going on around me, the eating disorder was just kind of what happened. And I would just start starving myself, and it was really easy because all of my friends were doing it. I was at this school that was a college prep school, and a lot of pressure coming from that direction as well, and teachers and coaches, and, you know, just trying to strive for excellence in every area of my life, and it just wasn't happening. And so just dealing with that disappointment, when people would be disappointed in me, I would just starve myself, and then that eventually led to, you know, throwing up and taking diet pills and taking, you know, laxatives and the whole thing, and just.
Well, I want to get into a little bit more of it. We're going to close this segment and do another one with Kara, so check that out, and check out her CD. You can see it there on this page. Check out her music. It's really good stuff. You know, it's moving beyond just the surface, which I like. So we'll be back.